Yeah, man, cranking.
All right, guys, let's get this party started. I know we're going to have a lot of people filtering in as we go. And look, I got this really cool text message this week from one of our cross-line people about these calls that we've been having and just how, it was really cool. And I'm not going to mention her name because I'm not going to call her out. But she had all these people. She was listing peoples and names of people that had impacted her life in the last couple months. And it was just this morning when I woke up that I saw this. Good evening. And it was really cool because of the impact just in a short period of time. Hey, Michael Hinkie, how you doing, my brother? Just in a short period of time of how just investing in ourselves. And Lisa and I have been talking about this as we were gone this past weekend. As you guys know, we were at Thrive. We were also at Building Depth. We were gone for 10 days. We had that Tuesday call. If you missed the Tuesday call, please go back into the my archive of my YouTube channel or the Team Build It Up or the Life Advantage Freedom Fighters and watch that video. I had our number one just top advanced distributor in our company, Blue Elam. I had Dave Madison. I had some really cool people of the stuff that we learned at Building Depth. And it's just exciting, guys, to get back to the real basics and real easy things. Look, we're gonna go through very similar things that went through that I always say that Steve Jobs went through. I was laughing with one of my new coaching clients today that I just signed on. That he said that the little bitty things that we do to encourage each other has kept him going. And this is a friend of mine who's, allowed himself to get up to 400 and some pounds. And, we were all created for a purpose, okay? We were all created to do great things. And Life Vantage is a gift. We've been given a gift. Hello there, Pete. We've been given a gift. And so as you've been given this gift, you have to trust that you protect that gift, right? And so one of the things that I know is a lot of people get distracted. Now, let me just be clear with this, and then I'm going to have my wife come over here. Are you coming over here? Because I got logged in and everything. Hey, what's up, Q? Is that that we can get distracted about things like just let me just tell you something. Lisa and I'm a scientist. A lot of you guys, I don't share a lot of the things that I do with you guys because one of my things that I've been talking to my pastor about is we all have to walk in humility, but we also have to walk in confidence. And so I've been consulting for nutrition companies. Like you guys hear the biggest praise out there is CBD oils and, all these different things, right? Well, Lisa and I do research for companies. And let me explain something to you. We are committed to Life Vantage until God takes us in a different direction. And so should you. You should be able to come over a little bit so I don't have to. So as you go through this journey, okay, it's okay for you to use other products, right? You're just not going to build a business. Like I see Jenny's on here. Jenny is a phenomenal kinesiologist. She has different products that she uses and sells to her customers, but she's not building a business with them because there's tons of other competition in those things. You guys have heard me talk about it. We are affiliates for Amazon. We're affiliates for Everlywell, which is a testing company where people don't have to go to their doctors to get results 3 weeks later. They can get it in a couple days. They don't have to have a script. So we're relaxed saunas. We use all kinds of different things, but we're not building a business with it. And I want to encourage you that that's okay. When things come your way, if you find something that you need to use, it's okay to use it. Just don't allow people to distract you from all of this that you've worked at and built. So many people do that. They jump into another thing and then you don't see them anymore. And then, that thing crazes. And now, guys, you know what? So many people are coming back to Life Vantage because they realize there's nothing out there. And anybody that usually leaves, and this is just what me and Lisa are on the same page about this, and we totally believe this, it's because people get distracted and they think the grass is greener on the other time. We talk about it all the time. And just like we said, we've never seen anybody be successful that's left LifeVantage and did something else. And usually if they are,
not long term.
yeah, if they are, it's for a little while and then it crashes. I mean, I saw a ton of LifeVantage former employees and corporate staff have started a new company. Like, it's their fourth company that they've left since they've been at left LifeVantage. Guys, walk in integrity, walk with the blinders on. Don't be distracted. Even if you've had struggles, ups and downs, it's okay. Okay? So one of the things I want to talk about is still not being registered for convention. Guys, even if you only go to one event a year, okay, you need to be at convention. There's going to be there's going to be something new that's coming out. Lisa's going to talk about one of the things. And then look, I know that this might be a stretch, but even some of you guys, like Lisa and I have a goal, and I'm just going to put it out there right now. We have a goal to take 10 people to the Building Depth event, which is on the December 7th and 8th in St. George, Utah. So you guys can go and learn how to get back to the basics of building your. The most rank advancements in the company have come from this event. And Chris Goodrow's on, and him and I talk about it all the time, the simplicity of it. So as we go through this tonight, and Lisa's going to share a big piece of why this is so important. Like, I've had some people that have had emergencies and can't go to convention. I understand that completely. You know, several people texted me this week and said, hey, there's just something that came up. I'm unable to go, right? Well, let me explain this to you, okay? We understand that. Then you know what all three of them said? Hey, but I'm going to go to the Building Depth event. So, guys, you have multiple opportunities to learn and grow your business. But Lisa and I just said to us, look, is it tough for us to go to some of these things? Of course it is. We have another business that's growing very, very quickly. We're getting ready for those of you that don't know, since we had a call last Tuesday and I didn't talk about it, I'll just let you guys know, we have been approved for our own Hefluence television program, which is going to be awesome. And we're not sure quite when it's going to start, but it's going to start pretty soon, probably maybe the first of the year or towards the end of the year. I'm hoping before that, but whatever. We just know God's timing. But so it's still not too late to register. People have, like I know Wendy is getting together an Airbnb. If you guys need to reach out to her or anybody else that needs rooms, just let us know. We're connecting people right now. But guys, just make an effort to get there. It'll be worth it. It'll make your whole rest of your year of your business go that much faster, and you'll learn. So enough of that. I'm going to kind of pull up this next section that Lisa. So here's how tonight's call goes. Lisa's going to show you this new technology. Is that what you want to call it? What do you want to call it?
Platform.
New platform. Educational platform that we learned at Building Depth. That's pretty cool. And I'm not sure why I'm not seeing it, but oh, there it is. Okay. Here it is, the dashboard. Let me just pull this up for you guys so that you guys can see it. And hold on one second. Okay. All right, cool. So I'm going to turn it over to my lovely wife so you guys can see this. It's lvcoaching.com. This is Lisa's account. I signed into her account. This is kind of what it looks like when you come up. This is Q over here on the side. So I'll let my amazing and wonderful wife, Lisa Huey, for those of you that don't know, all of you do. But
right. Actually, before I get into that, I want to pull up the Building Depth Facebook page. Whoops. Yeah. Building Depth. There we go. So this Facebook group is a closed group, of course, but it goes right with everything that they're teaching at the Building Depth events, which apparently has actually been going on for practically 2 years. So it's really gained momentum. We talked a little bit about it on that Tuesday call last week, and it's powerful, okay? There's a lot of information. In there, if you go to
Someone to add themselves.
files, well, yeah.
First thing you want to do is you want to add yourself in the group. We have added most of our leaders. We have added most of our leaders in the group. Most people that we know. Maybe we forgot some. Maybe we've been super busy. But you guys can see there's calls on Tuesday night, which you guys can see.
Yeah, I'm going to go through that too.
Okay.
So if you go to files, and there's the Ireland PowerPoint, the tear-off sheet PowerPoint with the ABC video, like the tracker, and then the recorded Zooms are on here also. If you go to events, this is what's really powerful is the building depth training. It's in the bedroom. This was the last one that they did, or the next one rather that they've got. We're going, this is his account, that's why he didn't say, okay. Global convention, let's just go ahead and click going. The next event on October 2nd, that was in, that's like their Zoom training. We will be on that call. There's the Zoom link. So if you want to join it, you can just join it. There it is. Life Vantage Academy, November 17th. I think we're out of town. The Building Death, the next event is here Friday the 7th, December 7th, and December 8th for Saturday. And it's got all the details for it there. So you can follow these events, okay? And then if you go back to files, let me pull this up, PowerPoint. Okay. So you can download the presentation. So that way you have it on your phone or on your device, wherever it is.
And let me comment on this while Lisa's pulling this up. So what's really cool about this is you can see that you can have this on your phone and you can see the numbers are written on there, but when you enlarge it, can everybody see this okay? On the screen, Chris, can you see it okay? Somebody?
Yes.
We're good.
Okay. So as you go through this, as you push the down arrow, everything comes up so that it walks you through it. Okay. And let me tell you what's good about the tear-off sheet. It's an accountability tear-off sheet. You guys can see it here. I got it in my hand. It's exactly what's on the slides. It's exactly what's on the slides, but it allows you to be able to know whether the person's accountable or not. There's 15 of these tear-off sheets. So Sherry Hollenbeck said that her leaders that are growing this business are allowing themselves to do these 15 presentations, okay? And so these 15 presentations, okay, so she said, so here's what she said. Here's accountability that you can do. There's 15 I think there's
15 per packet.
15 on here?
Yeah.
So you can get 15 of these and then you can say to your person, well, how many of these have you done every single month? If you're down to a couple, you can say, hey, look, and guys, it's so simple. It's the corporate slide presentation really simplified in a tear-off sheet so that people can do it. Because you know what? Even Pro 7s and Pro 8s have said, hey, it's too complicated. And they're going to have this up online, and this is the Building Depth workbook. It allows you to go in and learn the presentations. And guys, really, here's what the system is. It says 15 or more presentations, attend all events, always do what you say you're going to do, always stay in control in your business, promote and repeat until it's done. Follow the system for 5 years. And then you sign it. That's all you do. That's all this is. And then it walks you through the presentation, which is what this is. On the next two, talks you how to do it. And guys, on that Building Depth Facebook page that Lisa showed you, here's what I think is the coolest thing is that if you look down here, as Lisa said, there on the video section, okay, which you guys can see now, there is a presentation. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom, I'm not going to do it because it'll go all the way down to the very bottom of a presentation of every single one of the elite distributors at the corporate office doing this slide presentation so that you can find one of them that you relate to and use that way of presenting. And what it is, it's repetitiveness. I listened to 5 of them on the flight home from Las Vegas so I could see how they do it. Sherry Hollenbeck, Pro 8 in 2.5 years, never done this, and lives out in the middle. She just bought a house with cash in Utah and moved from Wyoming. So I want you guys to see the transformation of this. We just helped one of our distributors do this. He made Pro 3 in his 2nd month. And that fire had been lost in a lot of people because a lot of people were saying, I can't do that presentation, or I talk too much. This is, as my wife and I say, this really simplifies it and gets it back to how we built this business in the beginning. And for those of you who were on last week, you heard Blue talk about that. You heard a lot of the other guys talk about that. But then here's the big piece. There's going to be a building depth meeting at convention. They had close to 1,500 people in the room last time in Anaheim. Okay, so more than half of, close to half of the people that were at the event were in this room. And so they're slowly but surely adding elite after elite after elite after elite because we're getting back to the basis. So this last piece before we go into personal development, I got some really awesome things I want to share with you tonight. But Lisa's going to go over this next piece, which they're going to introduce. It's called LV coaching. So I want her.
Oh, we're still on this.
What?
Building up.
What?
More things.
Okay. My wife has a couple more things.
Yeah. So anyways, the building depth, those tear-off sheets in that workbook is taking our blueprint, taking the blueprint that comes in the starter kit, it's in your back office, and it breaks it down step by step by step. The blueprint is an awesome way I see it. It's like it's the floor of a building. You know, your 1st floor, 2nd floor, 3rd floor, 4th floor. It's the floors. But the building depth is taking the actual stairs to get between each floor. So I just really wanted to reiterate that, you know, that it takes it into a much deeper, more simple way of being able to follow the proven system. All right. So anyways, moving on to LV coaching.
Hold on one second, guys. Let me get this on here. Here. LV coaching. Here we go.
All right. So you can sign up for LV coaching at lvcoaching.com. It's basically $1 a day, you know, no contract. So you decide you want to cancel it, you can cancel it after, 30 days. And when you first get in, what I really like about it is this roadmap that tells the brand new person, somebody who might not even yet be a distributor, they can get started on this. And they can get started with their personal development even. But for somebody who is extremely brand new, who've maybe not even joined LifeVantage yet, or if they did, it actually shows them how to navigate their back office. It shows them there we go. Review. All right, so you can see here if the person has already been a distributor or not. I've already enrolled, obviously, which I have. But if not, they want to know what the difference is between all of these packs. It'll pull up a PDF, and you can actually take it and save it onto your phone or onto your computer system. It shows the exact differences of every pack. All right, so then going back to the roadmap, the next step, it tells you how to find your, how to navigate that back office. How to subscribe. We did all this. This computer is a little different than mine.
It's a PC, babe.
I know.
It's not
I'm
a
used to
Mac.
So anyways, hey now.
I told her that when we got in here.
All right. Next. There we go. So now it'll take you through how to log in. The video on the previous thing showed you how to find your URL in your back office. So it's real simple in getting you to navigate your back office. Okay.
And a lot of people don't have a smartphone and the app's been crashing. This makes it simple, easy for them, and adds the piece that she's going to talk about in a minute, which is the personal development.
Yep.
And they can learn all the compensation plan. They can learn everything right here. It's a course map. Very simple and easy. Library and everything.
Yep. It tells you what the difference is between the 100 PV, the 200 PVs. People ask you about that. It's a difference of 30% versus 40%, you know? So it's awesome. Let's move on to...
And they're going to have, you can see the videos are all coming in here. They're going to have all the videos in here. They've got training in here.
It tells you how to set up your hyper wallet.
Yes.
I've had many new distributors say, how I got an email, I'm not sure how to set it up, whatever. It takes you through so simple, step by step. And then the Q is what he's all excited about.
Welcome to Q. Tell me how you're feeling today.
Hopefully we shared our video or audio. So you go through every day or however often you want to, and you rate where you feel like you are on love and relationships. Let's say you're a 7 today. Okay. Health and fitness. I worked out. I was fasting. I'll give myself a 10 for today. I'm just kind of making up all these numbers. That's all right. I fasted today.
You can put
Career
that
and
as a 10.
business.
You can put
This
that
one,
as a...
yeah, I was very diligent today. Personal development, let's just say I didn't do too much for that today, to be honest. Family, I actually talked to my mom and my sister, as well as, of course, my husband. Fun and social, not really. Finances, we've done a lot for our business. I'm just making up numbers right now so they can see.
Okay.
Mindset and spirit, so let's say I didn't spend so much time with the Lord today. I need to do some more of that. My current mood, content, grateful, excited, depressed, stressed, calm, happy, whatever. So you go through all these
How you're
questions.
feeling right now.
And I'll just put down excited to teach.
Is it?
Submit journal entry.
Suggestions I think might be helpful. Let me show you.
So what it's doing is thinking about how I answered these questions for today, and it's going to suggest videos for me, courses to take, things to achieve better balance. Since I had such extremes on that Q, I need to help work on my own personal development for better balancing my all of the areas of my life. So it'll give me these things. I've actually already done that one.
Progressing past your
roadblocks. You can see I'm in the middle of it. I'm only 50% of the way through that one. Oh, better balance was 0. Oh, it was another one then. It was about balance that I started. It's got some videos, 5 rules for, the game of life. You can listen to the videos. Some videos are as short as 5 minutes. Some are like an hour. Money. Since I think I put finances as, I don't remember what I put since I'm making up these numbers, but you can listen to these audios as well. Shifting your mood, overcoming resistance to change. Some people just hate change. Change, unfortunately, is a part of life. So as you're walking, working out, thinking, listening to the background, you can even play these audios from your phone. So it's a very personalized personal development based on your current status needs of the day, the week.
And guys, this is the #1 company that has been doing this for Tony Robbins, all these big name companies, corporations, Titleist, all these different things. They've all been doing this. So Life Advantage is adapting it into their system. And you guys can see how quick, guys, look, there's you don't have to go anywhere else to be able to get all of this information. You don't have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars, extra tapes and CDs and all that stuff. You get them all in one spot, and it's all simplified. Mm-hmm. So you want to ask some questions? You want to ask questions? I know, because I want to have at least 10 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. And so based on my needs, it tells you, it even helps you walk through to set goals that you might need to be, you might need to set. Like, create the meditation relaxation space, add the goal. You can click on there and you can do a journal within this. There's a journal in there. So as I'm going through the courses, I submit my journal entries.
Yeah.
So it is so powerful, so amazing. I need to really try and get myself into the habit of getting in here kind of like first thing in the morning instead of the last thing at the night, and just spend 30 minutes a day working on it, incorporate it with part of my prayer
Even
meditation.
if you do it 15 or 20 minutes a day, they said it to be 15 to 30 minutes that you can do. And the courses and the tools. And then the library, it'll store all this stuff for you so you can go back if it's something different that day that you're emotionally feeling that you're struggling with that day. It'll go back and show you, like Lisa's showing you now, 5 courses. So you can see the time frames. And then you missed it, but on the first thing there was, here's some of the ones that she's working on right now. And then there's an area for your journal, for you to journal and keep track of what you're journaling. You can see she finished this one, Life Managed Business Setup. And then it just goes down through all of these, and it'll continue to add things for you. There's a financial planner, how to stay focused. And guys, this is all centered around the Building Depth workbook and all the stuff that goes through. So I saw Brendan Bouchard on there, who's one of my favorites. You can see, Mathematicians of Weight Loss, Dan Clark. I mean, they have contracts with John Maxwell and Tony Robbins and Robert Kiyosaki and just all these peoples. And so we do not know what time the Building Depth thing is at convention, but they'll post it in that LV coaching or in the Building Depth Facebook page. So, and you guys can see this is all really cool. These videos are just unbelievable. Like I've really become a big fan of Brendan Bouchard. I watch all his stuff now. I really love how this company has, tailored this so that, I Achieve today is their company, and so that they can tailor it, and they've tailored it towards Life Vantage and our and what we stand for. So, do you want to share anything else? Or do you want to open it up for some questions?
I was just going to quickly say that this was something that Ryan Goodwin was actually working on. The elites was, they got a hold of it. They were working on it too. And so they combined forces, obviously. And Ryan Goodwin with, he's so amazing. And he's got so much stuff going on. He basically gave them everything that he's already started. So I don't know what percentage, but a lot of his stuff to help us with our personal development that he was talking about in the past has been implemented in this LV coaching. So
yeah. And okay, so before I go on to this next part, does anybody have a question or anything about it? I know we shared I didn't want to go into too much and kind of over stress you guys out about this, because there's more going to be coming, but I wanted you guys to see the big picture of this and how once you do this, you're going to start treating your business like a business. This is all making things simpler and easy. One of the things I took away from the Building Depth thing is just how diligent people are about having people make a decision. That they're not just telling people about, people come back to us in the beginning and say, how come you didn't tell us there was a business? All you talked about was a pill. And guys, we're way beyond Pro Tandem now. I'm just telling you that. There's going to be other NRF2 activators. We are creating new categories. I'll tell you what. Our probiotic could be $1 billion company, $1 billion product on its own. Lisa and I say that all the time because we have something that nobody else has. So I want you guys to just be aware of that and understand the significance of that. So does anybody have a question about what we've talked about so far, or maybe just a comment about it? Anybody who's done it or who just has a question about it?
Tracy has a question. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Because we're in Canada, some of us, we don't get the app. So if we sign up for this,
well, I don't know what you mean. You don't get the app. You can get this. This doesn't have any bearing on where anybody is in this is open to every single distributor that's involved in Life Vantage.
Okay, so it has nothing to do with the app. Perfect.
Nope.
It's a website.
It's a website.
You would just use on your cell phone. You would just use whatever browser to get on the internet that you use, and you can log in that way.
Yeah,
one's not an
this
app.
doesn't have anything to do with Canada or anywhere. This is available to any LifeVantage distributor anywhere around the world.
And one last really super quick question. When it was asking you or suggesting you to do other videos or other training, I've joined courses that I thought were not expensive, but then when they've suggested I do another course, it's another $197.
No, it's all self-contained within the program.
Yeah,
within
there's
the LV
no
coaching.
outside fees, no outside payments.
As you
That's
saw
why they're
when
doing
I
it.
was like in the video section, all you do is hit play on those videos. All you do is hit play on those audios. It's all contained within it.
Yep, no outside hidden fees.
You're awesome. Thank you.
In a beta test right now, so they know there's going to be glitches. They're like, don't complain about the glitches.
But the company that's doing it is not in glitches. Those are not where the glitches are. There's not going to be any
No,
glitches.
the
They're going to be
navigation
adding
and-
stuff to it. She's trying to get at. They've already done that. This company's already been doing it for close to 15 years for different companies. So, any other questions or comments? Anybody else before we go on to the next part of the call?
Yeah, Mike. So is this from the Building Depth group that's putting this out?
Yeah.
Will this eventually be part of LifeVantage? Is that the plan?
The corporate staff has it and are looking over it, and I think they'd be stupid not to. So,
So Ryan Goodwin was originally kind of working on
They dropped
developing
the ball.
something like this.
so
So,
plain and simple.
Oh, okay.
Took off running with it. This is Tyler, Marcel, and Blue, and the rest of the elites.
Right. Yeah, that's what I got from the call last week, Tuesday. I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, this is a big deal. This is a big piece.
Sweet.
Anybody else? Comment, question?
This is Marcia speaking.
Hey, Marcia.
Hi. First off, I'd like to apologize for my lateness. I've been having
all right.
some tremendous
can make it.
Wi-Fi issues,
Glad
but
you can make it.
I'm here.
Question.
But as a new person, I just want to say that with what I saw, I am so elated to find something like this, because I have been drowning and floundering and looking for things that will help me to move ahead. And that has been very difficult being a newbie in this environment. So thank
Understood.
you. Woohoo! I'm
You're
excited.
welcome. And that's the big piece of this. People like Marcia, people who've gotten started, who didn't really know what they were doing, said they couldn't do what other people were doing. It's got back to the simplicity of it. And I remember when we first got involved, when we had the original tear-off sheets, Seth Mulder said that he used to go around with one in his back pocket, and he would keep it in his back pocket, and he would just fold it up and get it out everywhere he'd go, and he'd just write on it. And he would, he'd have 3 or 4 of them in his back pocket. He'd pull it out, share it with the people, move on. Share it with the people, move on. So I think that that's a big piece of why this is going to be so big. So
yeah, and they were keeping that in mind too, because there have been, not that it's right, but people who've been signed up as distributors, and the person that signed them up disappeared,
happens a lot.
So they've kept that in mind. So it's like somebody who's a brand new distributor, they want to work it, but they've got nobody to take them under their wing. This is basically a virtual mentor for you.
Yep, 100%. Anybody else? Question, comment before we move on? Don't be shy, guys. If you have questions or comments, don't be shy. Anybody have a question or comment?
So we sign up for the building builders, and then we sign up. There's a link to sign up for the life.
Yeah, just go on lvcoaching.com. It'll walk you right through it. It's real simple,
Yeah.
Tracy.
So are those 2 separate links?
The building depth page is on Facebook. You just
Correct.
go on there and add yourself on there. I'll add you on there if you can't find it.
Please, and if under comments you can write the other one, and I'll then write it down. Thank
Yeah,
you,
it's on there. It's already on there.
Chris put
Chris
it
already
on
put
there.
it on there.
because Chris is awesome. Thank you,
Yes.
Chris.
Anybody else?
Amen, Tracy.
You need Jesus. Anybody have a comment or question? I'm going to move on. All right, awesome. Okay, guys. All right, so a little bit about what I wanted to go on tonight is I wanted to, let me get to this. No, I see. Michael, can you see my screen okay now?
Yes.
Okay. So guys, if you guys don't know, Lisa, as I said at the beginning, Lisa and I were just at Thrive, which is, it's not a product. It's not marijuana, which is what some people think it's a or a marijuana company. It's actually an event by one of our mentors, Cole Hatter, about people who have a for-purpose business. Guys, Life Vantage is a for-purpose business. We are doing things like families helping families that Lisa and I are going to Mexico and doing.
Back to the communities.
Giving back. That's all this is. And guys, look at the people that's attracting. This is a private gathering the day before Thrive where Lisa and I had the opportunity to meet with Eric Thomas. And those of you that don't know Eric Thomas, you need to know who Eric Thomas is. Okay? He's the #1 requested motivational speaker in the country ahead of Tony Robbins. Okay? So the most humble guy you'll ever meet in your life, still lives in the same house that he lived in, makes millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars, and gives back. Okay? And I got him to commit to being on my television program, which is going to be cool. I wanted to tell you guys this story before we go ahead. When we got done, Lisa asked a question. Well, actually, Cole sat him down after he asked a bunch of people what we wanted him to speak on at Thrive. And then Cole said, "Do you still have a little bit, another 30 minutes?" He said, "Yes." And he sat him down and he said, "How many of you can stand up and share a testimony of how you've been impacted by Eric over your life?" And Lisa was towards the end. And she said, "I just wanted to thank you for being there. My husband and I listen to you all the time. When we were apart, I listened to some of your motivational stuff and some of your encouraging stuff. And we still do listen to him all the time." And then I said, and he was a little emotional, she was a little emotional, and I raised my hand and I said, "Eric, I just have one more thing to say. I just got my own television program on the Christian television network. Will you be one of the guests?" And he said, "Absolutely." So later on, the event was closing down, and Eric was having problems getting his mic out. He said, "Hey, Mike, will you help me with my mic?" No, oxymoron, right? So I helped him, and he said, "Where's your phone?" I was like, "In my back pocket." He said, "Give it to me." And I gave it to him, and he put his phone number in my phone, which was freaking awesome. I didn't expect it, but he did. And what was really cool about that I haven't even contacted him, right? I'm going to wait until I'm ready to contact him because I want him to be one of my special guests on the television show. Then we're going to upload those to YouTube. We're going to upload them to Instagram TV. We're going to do a lot of really cool things. But guess what, guys? Guess who gets to benefit from all this? You do. So tell your teammates and your friends and your distributors who are not on these calls on Thursday night about what they're missing out. Because we're going to be inviting people that we're connecting with to be on these calls to bring you guys pieces of nuggets that'll make a difference in your business in the next 2 to 5 years. I can just promise you that. Lisa and I've talked about it all the time. So I wanted to just talk real quick. Now, I'm just going to express this to you guys. I was never a big Ty Lopez fan. I was never a Ty Lopez fan. And for those of you that don't know who Ty Lopez is, whenever you went on YouTube, he was the guy that said, "Hey, do you want to go in my garage?" And then he went in his garage and he showed you all his Lamborghinis and all this stuff. Lisa and I have never seen the Ty Lopez that we see now. He got up on stage. He took people's websites and Instagram accounts and just critiqued them. He did break some people's hearts, but he did it in a loving manner. And I wanted to talk about, he talked about, we're used to the personality tests. And Lisa and I've done them all, but we've never done this Hexico one. I actually started it, but I never got finished. And he said, and I want to encourage you guys about this. I want you guys to take some notes because I think you guys will be encouraged by this, okay? And so he talked about 4 pieces to this. The 4 most important pieces to this Hexico personality test were organization, perfection, diligence, and prudence. And he talked about organization, and he was really funny about it. He said, organization is having a daily routine, okay? He talked about this girl that used to work for him that one day that she never had any organizational skills. There was no daily routine. He said one time he told her that he needed her to go pick up, that they were out of pens, writing pens, and he needed her to go pick up some pens, right? And so she said, but I also need you to go by and pick up this check from this guy that owes me $250,000, right? And so he said she came back and said, look what I got. And she had a whole thing of pens. And he's like, where's the check? And she said, oh, I'm going to go by there around 4:30 or 5 so I can make sure I catch him. I was going to call him when I got back. And Ty said, let me tell you something. If that was her check and it was $250,000, she would have went there first thing before she brought back some, $5 pens, right? And when Lisa and I laughed about it, you can hear us laughing because I was recording him, and I'll share some of those with you once we get them up on YouTube. We're having our virtual assistant in the Philippines put some of our recordings up on YouTube because we weren't allowed to publish them on Facebook. So, and then I don't know if you saw, some of you guys, most of you guys on here saw my interview with Nick Tenacito, Cincitano, who was born with one arm and no legs. All right.
Yes.
What's that?
That's correct. I saw that.
Yes, and he had one finger, right? And we had some pictures taken with him. Lisa and I got his book. I'm just getting ready to start reading his book, and he just knocked it out of the park. And he came out with after every session and sat and listened and just was diligent. And he was really diligent when Ty was talking about this. And I mentioned some things about it, and he said, we were just talking about the organizational skills that you have to be successful. But what Ty said is each of these is 25% of your personality. And he said the second one was perfection. And he said, double check all your work. Lisa was doing that today. I kept hearing her say, darn it, because she was going back and double checking her work, triple checking her work.
Measure twice, cut once.
Yes, and finding out that she had made some mistakes and had to redo things over and erase things. So I would say it's probably a learning experience, right? So, and I'm guilty of it too, but she's helped me think and do spell correct and spell check and all that stuff before, because I used to be really, really bad at it. I'm not great at it even now, but I'm getting better at it. Why? Because I'm working on it. And then I don't know if you guys remember this, but on college campus down at FAU this last year, a bridge collapsed and killed a bunch of people at a stoplight. It was funny. Ty said something funny, but I won't say what he said. But he said the guy was probably just out to lunch who was supposed to double check the work. And he said it's okay to look over the work of others to help them grow. It's okay that
part of the delegation responsibility.
Exactly. She's great with that with me. So, whether you're doing this business yourself or with your business partners, find some people that want to do this together, guys. I said this today. Usually we find 2 out of every 10 people will do something with their business, right? 2 out of every 10, right? Well, think about it. Here's one of the next things that Ty said. He goes, stop listening to all the motivational speakers that say hard work, and hard work. He said, hard work without action is nothing. You have to take action. And he said, look, some of the hardest people he's ever seen work were people in India when he was traveling. They were making $15 a month. He said, so don't listen to them when they tell you it's only hard work. 25% of it's hard work, right? And then he said what he thinks is the most important thing is prudence. And he said you always have 2 choices. You have the right door and the left door. And he said you have the successful person that has a great track record, or just your friend that, everybody says, he's your friend. You should work with your friend. We've learned the hard way from that, guys. We've lost this year thousands of dollars of working with friends because they just weren't good at what they did, right? And so, he said, and this is what he said. And guys, this is so true. He said, so many people are tied to their misery. You got the psycho at the right door, and you got the awesome person at the left door, and you choose the right door, right? Because you're gravitated towards problems. Stop gravitating towards problems. I like what he said. He said, even me, I've learned that the circle that I surround myself with is how people perceive me. I perceived him bad years ago because that's all he talked about. Now he's a humble, moldable teacher guy because he's progressed because of personal development. one of the things he said is once you learn something, then go teach it, right? And he said, that's wisdom. Guys, why do we lack wisdom? Because we don't ask for it. Use it and ask for it. So I put some quotes on here from Thrive. You can see our mentor, Cole Hatter, right there. What an amazing man, guys. If you guys haven't known this, Elise and I just love this guy. Him and his wife, Sonia, he was a YWAM missionary who lost 2 of his friends within 66 days of each other. And he went back and promised that he would run a for-profit business or for-purpose business. His goal is to live off the 10% and give the 90% away. Guys, that Ed Milet and the speakers at this conference. And you guys, if you've seen the movie Molly's Game, Molly Bloom spoke at the event, and Tim Story, who was one of Lisa's favorite speakers, and Caleb Maddox, who you guys have heard me talk about, that lives right here in St. Petersburg, Florida, a 16-year-old entrepreneur. One of the statements somebody made, and our virtual assistant made this: money is merely a symbol of value, and what you do with it, as you give it away and you pay it forward, you can never outgive God. And that's one of the things I like. When Cole put this up, he put up leadership, honor, integrity, and humility. And leadership starts with loving people and being a servant leader, having honor where honor's due, walking in integrity when people aren't looking, doing what you say you're going to do, and humility, just humbling yourself. I've learned this year more than ever the difference between humility and being confident. All right, you don't want to be humble and not be confident, because you can lead down that road. And so I took away some really cool quotes from people on this, and I wanted to share this with you guys at the end. And then if there's anybody that wants to make a comment about anything that we've talked about, or maybe something that's happened in their business this week that they might want to share, or some things that they've been learning about, just some personal growth, we'd love some time for that, because I believe it's important. So here's one of the quotes, and I didn't write down every person's name that said this. I wish I would have, but I didn't. I know Lisa's got this somewhere, and we're going to be sharing more of this information with you guys as the weeks go on. Someone said, take 100% ownership of where you are. If you're struggling, figure it out. Where are you? What are you not doing right? Right? Are you wanting this more for people than they want it for themselves? Are you looking for the wrong people? Are you not doing 15 presentations a month?
Take 100% ownership of your part of things too. For example, you get into an argument, fight, whatever, even if, the other person was like 98% at fault, you still have 2% fault in the game. Take 100% ownership of your 2%.
Yeah.
Don't just even deny that you had any part of it, because that's huge. That goes back to integrity.
Yeah. Remember Steve Sims said, there's your side, their side.
And the truth.
And the truth, right? So somebody told me this a long time ago, and this is something I've learned this year, and that Lisa's encouraged me to do. Even when you're not wrong, it's okay to meet the person halfway. Some guy said, I've never met anybody like you. Even when you're wrong, you take 50% of it, right?
Even when you're right.
Even when you're right, right? And so it's okay to do that. And then I love this. I can't remember who said this. I think Nick said this. Oh, no. Brad Lee said this. Good is the enemy of... You guys, good is the enemy of great. I'm going to use some of these as posts, and so should you guys. Giving is the secret to what you want. Wow. Giving of your time, giving of your emotions, giving of your heart, just being the person that God created to be and giving. And I know you guys, I had so many awesome quotes from you guys after I did that thing on Ed Milet. And Ed and Lisa and I just were blessed by Ed. He's going to be on our television program. We actually were one of the people that got to spend time with him and get his book signed. Lisa and I met 2 Life Vantage distributors in Utah that manage Ed's place in Coeur d'Alene. And I'm going to talk about that in a couple weeks. I wanted to kind of lead that in, how Ed bought a place out in Coeur d'Alene that was made of rock, and they said, and just how he turned it into this massive house that has waterfalls running down through it. And Ed's a giver. We raised over 200K for Claire's project, and there's people giving money after money after money. And Lisa and I stretched ourselves and gave a big donation also. So I like this one. This was, I think this was cool. He said, the limitations you put on yourself are self-imposed limitations. They hold you back, right? I can only do so much. You guys have heard people say that. Stop saying that, right? You know? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hey, it's the truth, right? And then this one, it says, how you do anything is how you do everything. Wow.
Yeah. You attack a project only half-heartedly, and you're tricking yourself into believing that it's only this one project.
Especially when 1% of you are only going to follow up with the people you have on your list one time. And only 1% of you are going to follow up with them 5 times. Okay?
Yeah.
And then this was the cool thing, and I'll finish with these last 2 points. This was Ty, actually. He said there's this thing called ARCs. And this is how you build relationships and how you engage with people. He said
Especially if you're doing lives, like
if you're doing Facebook lives or you're doing Instagram posts or you're doing presentations where you're just interviewing somebody. Said you ask a question, right? You always start the Facebook Live by asking a question. You relate to your audience or your customers. You call out a solution, and then you send them to a call to action. Okay? Let's go over that again. ARCs. Ask a question. Relate to the audience, call out a solution, send them to a call to action. Guys, that's powerful. Lisa and I we both wrote that down and spelled it out. And then my friend Steve Sims, Lisa, well, I know why she doesn't, but I chew up the meat and spell out the bones. He's just a guy from New Zealand. You guys have heard me talk about him before. He wrote but I'll tell you what, he wrote a great book called Blue Fishing. If you guys like to read his book, Blue Fishing. It's unbelievable. It's a very small read. It won't take you very long. You can get it on Amazon. I read it 3 times on 2 plane flights. He said, these are 3 major touch points, okay, when you're building relationships.
Yeah.
Okay, and he said you want to always engage with the person, okay? You want to entertain them. Steve definitely does that. And you want to educate them. Engage, entertain, and educate. Guys, those are 3 amazing things. And guys, let me tell you something.
The combination between ARCs and the 3 E's is powerful.
Yeah.
Put them together.
You could encourage yourself and get yourself going to the next level, and as an influencer, no matter where you are at in life, by just doing this. By just getting the ARCs and the 3 E's. So, guys, I hope that tonight was beneficial to you guys like it was to us. I love teaching this stuff because it encourages us. And Ty Lopez said, hey, the more you go out and teach this stuff, the better you get at it. The better you get at it. And he said, as much as you can do repetitively to go back and listen to this stuff. So let me ask a question tonight before we go. Got a great crowd on here tonight. Is there anybody that has a comment or a question or would like to say something about what we've talked about tonight, or just maybe something in general? Chris, any of you leaders, any of you guys that are on and want to make a comment or something about what we've spoke about tonight, this is an encouraging call. We want you guys to be motivated to say things and make decisions that have been moved by some of the things we've shared with you tonight. So anybody have a comment or want to say anything that we've talked about? Interactive, guys.
Well, we want to thank you for sharing this with us, Michael. This is some great stuff.
It's been really good. We've came back like super, super excited. Anybody want to say?
Michael and Lisa, thank you. I wish it was the morning. I'm not going to sleep tonight. I am so excited about what I learned tonight. I rushed home to see it, and I am so grateful. Those last things about the ARCs and the 3 E's is so key. And I'm not going to wait till the morning. I'm going to do things tonight. I love that. How you do one thing is how you do everything. And I'm in action tonight before I sleep. Thank you so much.
No, thank you, Christine. Christina. Anybody else? Wow, that's awesome. You guys hear that? That's really cool. Anybody else want to make a comment?
The ARCs and the 3 E's are the way to go, and that's where I'm going to start out. Thanks, Mike.
Yes, engage. Entertain and educate, right? That's all you got to do. Got to go
Exactly.
do something different. Anybody else?
It's me again, Christine. I want to say something. I've been so attached to my memory, and I've decided that I'm going to speak to all the successful people. For some reason, I feel bad not to help the friends and neighbors. Well, I can still go back to them. And the more successful my business is, then the more they want to be a part of it. So I'm turning it around. So thank you. That was a key point for me. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Guys, there's some of you leaders on here that aren't saying anything, and that's okay, but I'd just like to challenge you guys. One of the things that I've noticed about people that are moving forward in their business are people that are proactive in things that we're talking about. So we got about 4 minutes left. So anybody else want to make a comment or say one more thing before we head out?
Hey, Mike, it's Chris. I just want to let everybody know and encourage everybody to really look into this building death tear-off sheet just because of the simplicity of it. Last night I had a great call. I had a lady who's very busy. She's one of my distributors in Thailand. I got really excited. I got her on the phone. I told her about this tear-off sheet. I got her on the Sherry Hollenbach's video. She watched it, and she says, this is what I need. I can't sit down with somebody for an hour and try to go over something with them. I need something that is short and to the point and gets their questions answered. And she's like, I do believe this is it. This could be the piece that fires her up. We're always looking for easy, simple ways that are duplicatable to work this business. And I just think these guys hit the money with this. This is just great. There's tools inside the tool, and you just ask the questions and you get the answers before the presentation's over. I just think it's a great thing, and we really, really, really should really focus on doing this because it's going to make a huge difference. And like I told Irene, could you do 15 of these rather than 15 of the other things? And she says easily.
Yeah, and it's funny when we talk about this, if you really understand this, we talked about this. Tyler Daniels took me out in the hall and he said, Mike, remember when we used to talk about this, when we used to say 15 presentations was 30 minutes every other day? I don't care how busy you are. We're working 2 businesses and we're doing 15 presentations. I know I am, and Lisa's getting there. She told me she's getting ready to start doing these presentations. Why we bought a whole bunch of these. We bought 4 of these things, and we bought, you have to write down your organization and get started on that. But guys, I just want to say, is there anybody else, maybe 1 or 2 more people that might want to make a comment? Before we go, we got 2 minutes left. Enough time for 1 more person if somebody wants. Yeah, I don't know. Kathy, are you on still? She might have got off. Anybody else want to make a comment? All right. Wind it down. Guys, thank you so much for joining.
Tracy wants to say amen and thank you very much. And if I press the chat, is it going to be in everybody's way so I can write down what Chris left?
You can write it down.
Thank you. I love you both.
You're welcome. Guys, God bless you all. Thank you all for joining the call tonight.